The Crazies is a movie released in 2010 starring Timothy Olyphant, Radia Mitchell, Danielle Panabaker and Joe Anderson, and directed by Breck Eisner. Now this movie has left me with just a sense of disappointment, I would say. It's not really one that leads to anything, I would say. I think the very beginning of it and the first two parts of it are very good, and it just peters off towards the end and doesn't really know what it wants to do. The story revolves around David, who's a small town sheriff, and it's all about the outbreak of a virus which causes people to essentially become homicidal maniacs. Now, David and his wife Judy, they start to see the outbreak taking place, and it turns out that the military are the people responsible when they've been sort of moving a chemical warfare based weapon across via plane. The plane has crashed into the town's water supply and has slowly affected everybody who's been drinking the water. And essentially, the military are trying to make good on the damage they caused by quarantining off that town and taking its inhabitants out to either be, well, initially sorted from likely infected to clear, but it turns out that they're just killing off everybody and everybody that they can to try and stop from a widespread outbreak. So the plot of this movie is essentially that David, his wife Judy, and his deputy Russell have to try and escape the town, try not to become infected, but also try and break out the quarantine and get to pastures new and sort of live a new life. I would compare this movie to 28 Days Later, but where 28 Days Later picks off sort of when the outbreak has sort of fully taken its toll and, people are either infected or surviving, this is taken from day one of the virus outbreak. And it's a really interesting concept to sort of start off with. It's really cool to see sort of like the first few stages of the outbreak taking place. They're infecting one, then two, then a few more, until the point where the town is just descending into chaos. I really like that. And the tension building in a lot of these scenes is really, really well done. I mean, there's a lot of it where it's a case of sort of David, his wife, they're trying to sort of stay undetected, stay silent, all while someone is walking around looking for people to kill. And yeah, that I really like those scenes because it almost makes you want to hold your breath alongside the main character as well. And it does sort of make it a lot more interactive as well for the audience because you feel all the emotions that the main characters do as well. And the probably the best character in this movie is Russell, who's the deputy, and a lot of the times he is that one person that David relies solely on. He comes in, he saves David's life several times. He even makes reference to that later on in the movie. And yeah, he is that person who really is the heart and soul of this movie and is very well constructed throughout. And the horror hits on so many different levels, both the violence and the gore, the special effects, everything that comes out of it. That is just, a really, really cool movie and a really cool look throughout the first part. And I think the major strength of this movie and all of the good parts are within the first 45 minutes, where you have the outbreak taking place, you have the town responding to it, you have David uncovering the mystery or the fact that it's the drinking water that's causing all of this. There's a plane that's crashed in that, and yeah, the military sort of taking hold, quarantining off everybody and putting them into camp or into a camp, separating them out and then breaking out of it. And then the quest of trying to escape the town then basically makes itself known. All of that is a very tidy 45 minutes and a very good one as well. But now we're going to get into the downfall of this movie, and that is from 45 minutes onwards, so the final hour, where it does just drag. I mean, the pacing in this movie is absolutely poor. You have a very good opening 45 minutes where it just speeds through everything that's going on, and then it just grinds to a halt. The final hour is filled with repetitive sequences that are just all the same tension building sequences that you've experienced in the first part, repeated again and again and again to the point where it just loses all effectiveness. But my major gripe about this movie is the amount of characters it tries to shoehorn in to make you care about them. Realistically, what you've got are three characters. You've got David, his wife Judy, who's the doctor, and you've got Russell, who's the deputy. Those are the three main characters and the three characters you really do care about because they've been with it or they've been in the movie from the very beginning and you've got an emotional connection to them. The movie makes a very, very big point about one of these characters falling, basically becoming. There's a question mark over whether they're infected or not, but the fact is that they sacrifice themselves in order to benefit the others. That should be quite hard hitting and seen as a tragedy of this movie, but it isn't, because the problem is this movie tries to insert too many other characters that you should really care about, but you don't, because they haven't been with you since the beginning. And that happens time and time again, to the point where they do get to the what should be a heartfelt death, but it falls flat because you become so desensitized to these characters coming in and dying and coming in and dying, that when it's meant to actually mean something, it doesn't. And the impression I get from this movie is that a lot of the effort has gone into the first 45 minutes. That's where the creativity came into it. And I think that it's almost a case where they didn't really know what to do after they broke out of the military facility, and it was just a vague quest to get out. And it had to be dragged out in order to expand the runtime of this movie, because it just drops off so heavily. I think the ending is quite good, but everything between them breaking out of the facility and the ending is just, it's so slow. It really is so slow. And it does make it really hard to watch, hard to keep your attention throughout it, hard to focus in on it. And for those reasons, it's 3 stars. A really good, solid beginning. Unfortunately, it falls away. So that was my review of the Crazies. Have you guys seen it? What did you guys think about it? What have you guys thought? Please pop it in the comment section below. As always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'll be back with another one shortly, but until then, you guys take it easy, and I'll catch you on the next one.